This week saw the release of the first trailer for Mando and Grogu, the first theatrical Star Wars for 6 years, as well as the first officially released still for the upcoming Star Wars Starfighter starring Ryan Gosling. And yet, in a humiliating marketing defeat, even the modern audience that Disney has been catering to did little more than slam them over their handling of the Jimmy Kimmel situation. Let's see just how bad this is for the future of Star Wars and the legacies of both Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger. This video is sponsored by Surfshark. Disney's sins of the past where Star Wars is concerned are coming back to haunt them and their upcoming projects. And that's not even counting John Boyega, who is also back in the media, bemoaning how he and his character Finn was treated. So before we begin, let's address that. He attended Florida SuperCon, and what he said there was picked up by the Popverse, and from there, Industry Trade Deadline Hollywood, disseminating his words industry-wide. Their write-up reads, "If I was a producer on Star Wars from the beginning," Boyega said at the convention, according to Popverse, "you would have had a whole completely different thing." Boyega said he would not have gotten rid of Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, all these people. "We're not doing that," adding, "The first thing we're going to do is fulfill their story, fulfill their legacy. We're going to make a good moment of handling on the baton." Throwing Rey under the bus, he continued that the new characters would not just grab stuff and know what to do with it. "No, you've got to struggle like every other character in this franchise. I do that." And towards the end, he even threw Rian Johnson under the bus, adding that if he was in charge, Luke Skywalker wouldn't be disappearing on a rock. Hell no, standing there and he's like a projector, I would want to give those characters way more. Way more. So, in short, Boyega threw all of Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm under the bus, as their creative decisions are what fans are all up in arms about, or at least that used to be the case, when there still were fans that cared about Star Wars. How many still do, as we shall see, is arguable. What is beyond argue, however, are the many advantages of Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of this video, who will protect your data and secure constant access. And for me, now that I am back in my native Norway for the indefinite future, securing constant access is of particular importance. What I've found since my return is that quite a few of the web pages I sometimes visit are blocked, either by national decree for political purposes, or even by my local internet provider for other reasons. Like, imagine that you want to see Jimmy Kimmel and he's back on ABC, but you still won't get the show if you got ABC from Nexstar or Sinclair. It's the internet version of that. And Surfshark has the fix for it. By changing my virtual location, I'm able to unblock all regionally blocked websites, thus giving me the freedom and access I need in my work. So it's good knowing that Surfshark has over 3,200 servers in more than 100 countries around the world. There is of course a leisure component to this as well, as changing your virtual location also gives some great advantages when it comes to streaming. Case in point, you can access 15 different Netflix libraries, all with a different selection of movies and TV series. And this of course comes on top of all of Surfshark's other features devoted to protecting your data and privacy. And since they sponsor this channel, we naturally have a deal for you. If you use our link surfshark.com/midnight or use code MIDNIGHT at checkout, that triggers a special offer of 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN for free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in trying it out at surfshark.com/midnight. With that, let's return to how what should have been a week of hope and optimism for Star Wars turned out yet another reminder of how badly they've dropped the ball. In the aftermath of The Last Jedi, a movie which the entertainment media complex couldn't praise enough upon release, but which in the years since has had little choice but to admit completely and utterly destroyed the franchise, to the point where the next new hope was Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian. A genuinely good show. It brought in new fans and brought back old fans that had fallen off the wagon, even giving some hope it would find a way to circumvent the hated sequel trilogy. And who knows, if Favreau had been allowed to follow his original roadmap, maybe it would have. Alas, that roadmap had to be thrown out the window when Kathleen Kennedy fired and publicly tarred and feathered Gina Carano, who just so happened to be a load-bearing pillar in Favreau's vision and planned pocket universe under the larger Star Wars universe. With the load-bearing pillar that was Gina Carano's Cara Dune gone, 2 whole series featuring her were scrapped overnight, which meant the entire planned story structure collapsed, beginning already with the Boba Fett series, culminating with Season 3 of The Mandalorian. You know, the one where Jon Favreau's character was symbolically killed off by the gods introduced in the sequel trilogy, which everyone hates, and which saw Bo-Katan Kryze take over the show. And as we covered in another video, actress Katie Sackhoff actually needed counseling afterwards, because that character was so badly written and so unrealistic that Sackhoff just couldn't get a handle on her, which she, in not so many words, attributed to her losing her acting mojo, which in turn cost her a ton of roles afterwards, as she would bomb audition after audition. As expected, Season 3 of The Mandalorian was a major flop in the ratings, yet it is required viewing for the Mando and Grogu movie, which is effectively a protracted Season 4. Hence, the audience is already so pre-restricted that this honestly should never have been given the feature film treatment, as it really is but a double episode of a series the viewers already abandoned because it jumped the shark already. And it's not enough if you were watching up till where it still was good. No, you must have seen everything that came since it jumped the shark. And for all we know, even Ahsoka may be referenced and thus be part of the homework assignment. In short, many hours worth of screen time of what fans universally agree is very bad Star Wars is required viewing and homework for Mando and Grogu. The potential audience already knows this, which is why there is zero excitement for the movie, and why the official trailer for it, relative to how long it's been out, has gotten a mere fraction of the views a Star Wars trailer should have gotten in that time frame. What is more, it's getting ratioed to oblivion, and half the comments come from the very modern audience Disney has been catering to, and that audience is slamming Disney over their handling of the Jimmy Kimmel situation, using the comment section for that trailer as a platform from which to encourage everyone to cancel Disney+. Meaning, quite a few of those watching the trailer likely have no interest in paying money to see the movie. All told, if there ever was a Star Wars movie that was guaranteed to flop, it is this one, and that would be because of the history behind it. How anyone in Disney could ever think to give this the feature film treatment defies belief. And yet, there is one more Star Wars movie no one is excited for in the works. This week did not just see the release of the first trailer for Mando and Grogu, but the first production still from the in-production Star Wars Starfighter as well. That's the upcoming Star Wars project from director Sean Levi of Deadpool and Wolverine fame, starring Ryan Gosling, about which plot details remain under wraps, but there have been some alleged leaks suggesting that just like Mando and Grogu, this is another lone wolf and cub story, with a father figure protecting a son figure. According to Gosling himself, who just might be a little bit biased, the script is really good, and it may well be, but that doesn't help when apathy has long since set in, because in the larger scheme of things, this picture didn't really cause any reaction in any direction. On the contrary, it was met with complete indifference and apathy. That is the worst kind of reaction anything Star Wars can possibly get. Because when there is rage, when there is anger, that means someone still cares enough to be angry. When they're angry, they can still be won back over with the right product. But when apathy has set in, there's no going back. And that is where Star Wars fans are right now, at the point where they no longer care. At that point, it is no longer about bringing them back. They'd have to fall in love with Star Wars all over again, and that may not be possible given the history. That is the ultimate failure of Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger, and it will be part of their legacy. They didn't just destroy the franchise creatively, that could have been fixed. No, they stomped out the passion the fans had for it in their hearts. Is there anything that can bring your passion back? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, remember to protect your online privacy and secure constant access. So use our link surfshark.com/midnight or use code MIDNIGHT at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN for free.